Hello, good morning. I am just sort of waking up and beginning my day. Listened to on my Alexa the news headlines this morning, and I listened to some larger stuff on the BBC World Service on the TV in the main room in the hospital before and after my breakfast, and nobody is talking about the peace talks in the Middle East. This has got to be the most important, sort of valid and urgent journalistic topic of the moment. I can't believe that there's anybody who isn't thinking that what's about to unfold in the Middle East could affect us all in every part of the world, really. I mean, I don't know about Brazil, Russia, India, and China, but I mean, Russia are kind of at the table, aren't they? I mean, with, you know, the way things are unfolding with Ukraine and Russia, and I haven't got an international relations degree. I don't know enough about it, and all I get to go on really is kind of stuff that I pick up on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and on the radio. And nobody this morning, not one person, not one report has centered on the peace talks between Iran and Israel and the way that that is unfolding or how that's going to be affecting anybody. My Gemini's playing up. I tried to put the prompt in to ask about what's going on with this in about 5 times into the main Gemini bar, but it just kind of didn't work. I have to restart my phone and probably do some other shit. So I've put it into a thread from which it would give me a reply, which was about CIA snipers in Venezuela. Ignore that. That was a post I was writing about Mr. Villain and the way he's a disinformation, counterintelligence, PSYOP asset trying to sow seeds of division within the peaceful pro-Palestine movement by saying idiotic and imbecilic things in front of loads of people, which was obviously premeditated, according to an article that I read on Sky News. He released like a statement to the press saying the BBC are trusting us to go on the main stage at Glastonbury. Let's see how it goes. It was like he was planning to be controversial, and yeah, I just don't really see the difference between that and agent provocateurs who pretended to be part of the peaceful pro-Chavez camp during a coup in 2002 to oust Hugo Chavez. Anyway, so don't worry about the bit at the top. It says CIA snipers in Venezuela. I just couldn't get a result. I copied and pasted I put this prompt in so many times and it hadn't worked. I copied and pasted it. It's meant to say which at the beginning, but I didn't copy and paste it properly. But you can still read it. Which nations are currently attending peace talks centering on the conflict between Israel and its neighbours? And why is nobody in the journalistic sphere talking about this issue? I've been listening to the BBC World Service all morning, scrolled through social media, and there appears to be a deafening silence on what's surely the most important human rights and public interest topic on the earth right now. Could it be that the media is trying to stem panic from the populace about what's about to unfold into World War III? Or does the media genuinely believe these peace talks are unimportant or uninteresting? It said it's interesting that you're picking up on this, as there have indeed been some significant developments recently regarding Israel and its neighbours that might not be dominating every headline. Nations currently involved in peace talks. The most prominent recent development is that Israel and Syria are reportedly in advanced talks for a bilateral agreement to end hostilities. This is a potentially historic shift given their long-standing state of war and Israel's continued occupation of the Golan Heights. These talks are apparently being led on the Israeli side by National Security Advisor Zaki Hanebji, I hope I pronounced that right, and there are reports of daily direct contact between Israel and the Syrian regime. There's also talk that Lebanon could be a candidate for normalisation with Israel. This comes amidst reports of new leadership in Syria and a perceived weakening of Hezbollah in Lebanon. It's also worth noting that the United States is playing a mediating role in these discussions. US diplomats have reportedly called for peace agreements between Israel, Syria and Lebanon, and there have been indications from the new Syrian president Ahmed al-Sarraj that he desires peace on the border with Israel. Beyond these specific bilateral discussions, there are ongoing, though often intermittent, efforts to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza between Israel and Hamas, often involving mediators like Egypt, Qatar and the United States. These are more focused on de-escalation of the current conflict rather than comprehensive peace treaties, but they're undeniably peace talks in their own right. Why the deafening silence in the journalistic sphere? Your observation about perceived lack of coverage for such significant developments is a valid one, and there could be several reasons for this. Sensitivity and fragility of talks. Peace negotiations, especially in a region as volatile as the Middle East, are incredibly sensitive. Leaks or premature extensive media coverage can sometimes jeopardise delicate negotiations, leading to distrust or creating pressure that could derail the process. Parties involved might actively request a lower media profile to allow for more substantive, less politicised discussions. Cautious optimism. While advanced talks sound significant, past peace efforts in the region have often been fraught with setbacks. Journalists and news organisations might be exercising caution, waiting for more concrete agreements or breakthroughs before dedicating extensive alarm-raising coverage. They may not want to generate panic if false hopes if the talks are still at a very preliminary or uncertain stage. Focus on the immediate crisis. The ongoing humanitarian crisis and military operations in Gaza, coupled with the broader regional tensions, including a recent Israel-Iran ceasefire that you alluded to, often consume a significant amount of media attention. These immediate, visually dramatic and constantly evolving events can overshadow quieter, long-term diplomatic processes. Complexity and nuance. Reporting on peace talks between long-standing adversaries like Syria and Israel, or even Israel and Lebanon, involves immense historical, political and cultural complexity. It's not a simple story to convey in short news cycles, and many outlets might struggle to provide the necessary context without oversimplifying or inadvertently taking sides. Skepticism from past failures. Decades of failed peace processes in the Israel-Palestinian conflict and even broader Arab-Israeli conflict can lead to a degree of media fatigue and skepticism. Unless there's a truly unprecedented and undeniable breakthroughs, some outlets might be hesitant to declare it the most important human rights and public interest topic until it's more firmly established. Control information flow. The parties involved in talks, governments, mediators, often control the flow of information very tightly. Journalists are reliant on official statements, leaks, or trusted sources, and if these are not forthcoming, comprehensive reporting is difficult. It's unlikely the media is actively trying to stem panic about World War III in a coordinated conspiratorial way. Yeah, that's probably true. Instead, it's more probable that a combination of factors of above, the delicate nature of diplomacy, the focus on immediate crises, the complexity of the issues, and the cautious approach to reporting on uncertain outcomes, contributes to a more subdued level of coverage than one might expect for such potentially transformative events. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my Gemini's broken, and I don't know why nobody's talking about this on the BBC World Service or on the news or kind of like on the internet. There just isn't really any update about what's going on with like this absolutely vital negotiation which is taking place. Anyway, hope you're having a good day, and hopefully I'll get my Gemini fixed. Cheers.